Welcome to Relax Time Radio, broadcast nightly from 7:30 to 9 p.m. on Radio Thailand, Chiang Mai.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will. Making their way the only way they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Just a good old boy, wouldn't change if they could. Fighting the system like a true modern day Robin Hood.
Just in case we have a few squares in the house, I'd like to remind you that I'm a disc jockey. I'm known as the all-night all-frantic one where everything is crazy on Jay-Z. From midnight till 5:45, we play the sides the records we hope you enjoy directly from Birdland. And if you listen to the program, you probably have heard us talk.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome. Relax Time Radio.
Sunday night.
It is.
Hey, what are we doing here, buddy?
I didn't leave. Just been here.
Oh, that was you. I actually hung my coat on you, thinking you were some sort of decorative stand.
Yeah, I just, there's no sense in going home anymore. I just, this is my real home.
Pretty much, man. I can relate to that. If I didn't have a family, I guess I'd be here too.
Yeah,
I mean, like a literal blood family. I mean, as flimsy as that might be, as opposed to a spiritual family here.
Like here. This is my tribe.
Yeah, nice. Speaking of tribes, we got a tribe called Quest. We got Run DMC. We've got Fleetwood Mac. We got John Cougar Mellencamp. Not to be confused with John Mellencamp.
Why did he drop that Cougar thing?
We got to find out. We'll be revealing that later in the show.
Actually, I already know the answer to that.
You do?
Yeah, he had the Cougar thing thrust upon him.
Oh, why?
He was originally just John Mellencamp, and they said John Mellencamp doesn't sell records.
They've done some.
John Cougar does, and he claimed that he had no idea that they were even going to do this. It wasn't until he saw the actual pressed record with the name John Cougar on the sleeve.
John Cougar Mellencamp, right?
First album was just John Cougar.
They
let him put the Mellencamp on later, after the fact.
It could have got crazy. He could have been Cougar Johnson.
Imagine if he made a record and it came out. It's Paul Cougar. Wouldn't you be like, hey man, I don't really. That doesn't resonate with me. Or maybe it does.
I could be Paul Snow Leopard or something like that. It'd be pretty whatever my power animal is.
Your spirit animal, exactly.
Exactly. Narwhal. It's just pretty weird, man. We got John Cougar Mellencamp.
We got John Cougar. And
we got so many good things. Because we're filling in tonight.
We are.
It means...
Why are we, by the way? I didn't even ask. Because I'm just like, I can do more shows?
Mimo comes down from on high. They're like, hey, we want you Sunday night, 7:30. No questions asked.
Yeah. There was no question mark attached.
Yeah, we're there.
It's just,
So, you were here anyway.
Yeah.
I just had to round you up.
That chain of command so long that we're so far down it. I wouldn't even know who to respond to. Just, okay, see you there.
We'll be there echoing to an empty room. That's so funny. All right, we got The Clash, Don Henley, Go-Go's, INXS, Def Leppard.
Ooh.
So many good things. And we're going to kick off the show, I believe.
With a little Eddie Money.
Yeah, because last week's Eddie Money retrospective, it just wasn't enough for me because I thought a lot of his early back catalogue was really sad and kind of like a bit disco-y, weird.
Right.
And then he smashed it
He smashed it.
with,
Take Me Home Tonight.
yeah, Be My Baby,
Be
with
My- Be My Little Baby.
Ronette, Thingabob,
Ronnie Spector,
Ronnie
yeah.
Spector, yeah, from the Ronettes.
Yeah. That was great.
And yeah, what a mashup that was.
Well, I like the part where he plays air guitar with the alto saxophone in the video for some reason.
I like all of it. Again, if you have access to the internet and YouTube, have a look at Eddie Money's Take Me Home Tonight clip. We're trying to school you here on absolute golden
Yeah.
era, post MTV explosion, like 87.
80s, late 80s
Man,
greatness.
oh, this has got everything. As Russell said, he's playing air guitar.
With a saxophone.
He's pretending to play the sax. There's
And then he's holding the sax but pretending to play guitar. It's just
it's really weird. And then there's a bit where he's turned with his sort of in shadow, with the kind of the jacket.
Yeah.
And he's doing this thing, Russell, like the
Oh yeah,
head
the thing I
down
sometimes do. Yeah.
and the hair, and he's doing things with his hair, which I actually thought was hair from. You remember in Conan the Barbarian, Thulsa Doom's second in command guy, and he takes off
he's
the
ethnic
helmet.
guy with the.
No, he's like big moustache, and he's like
Oh.
leads the snake cult, right? So he gets this bit where he's got the big horned helmet,
Yeah.
and he takes off the helmet like really serious, and he puts it down. And his hair is like a total helmet.
Oh,
it's just
helmet
this
hair.
amazing. I don't know. It's like SpongeBob. In a barbaric. Anyway, Eddie Money captures that
Yeah.
hair. It's like he was a reluctant adherent to the mullet, like
Yeah.
because the mullet was huge, 85 to say 88.
Right.
It looked like Eddie signed on pretty late to that one.
Yeah.
Under the advice of management,
Stylists and,
Yeah,
and
they're like-
business people.
people who named John Mellencamp John Cougar, for example, those sorts
Yeah.
of people.
Exactly.
Visionaries. So let's get into it. If you would like to be part of the show, apart from listening and supporting as you do, or viewing online as you undoubtedly are, you can call in on 053-276-793, or you can find us on Facebook. You can send us a message there to the Relax Time Radio page, or to Russell, or to myself, or anyone on the team at all. Just send them messages,
Yeah.
say hello, and request songs.
Let us have it.
And you can find us on YouTube too.
Absolutely.
Here's some Eddie Money.
Eddie Money.
And a little bit of Debbie Harry in the mix too.
Yeah.
Stick around, you are gonna love it.
You're gonna love it. We'll be back.
Oh, just like what it sounds.
Be my little baby, baby, my darling.
I feel the hunger. It's a hunger. Take me home tonight. I don't wanna let you go till you see the light. Take me home tonight. This is only just like Ronnie said.
Be
You've been listening to Relax Time Radio on Radio Thailand Chiang Mai.
Watch our live stream on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Yeah, welcome back. There was
Debbie
Harry
Yeah.
of Blondie fame. Now that's her out striking out on her own.
Yeah, French Kissing in the USA.
Yeah.
That was from
Quite a big hit for her.
87 as well, I
Yeah.
think, around that era.
Yeah.
When Eddie Money was having that last crack at the gold.
Yeah. And
we were just checking out the Grammy nominees for Best Male Performance in
Right.
87, for which Eddie Money's track "Take Me Home Tonight" was nominated.
right, and
He was up against.
he was up against some real heavyweight talent, including the likes of Bruce Springsteen, Sting, Al Jarreau, Elton John, Michael Jackson.
And who won?
Sting.
Sting took it
taking
out.
that home for "Bring On the Night."
Oh, that was his second album.
I guess
after
his
Dream
second
of the
solo
Blue
album,
Turtles,
yeah. How about that?
I guess.
I mean, had Eddie Money wanted it, it might have. I don't think he really deserved it. I'm surprised he was even nominated with going up against this kind of talent. I mean, this is Elton John. "Candle in the Wind." He didn't even take it.
Yeah.
And remember how big that song
And I mean,
was?
it was Michael Jackson's Bad. I
Bad.
mean, that's a fairly, at that time, that was monstrously huge. You know, you pretty much couldn't escape it. You have to go to another planet.
You know, to the younger generation who wasn't there at the time, it's really hard to explain
How big
how big Michael Jackson was at the
in
time.
terms of the consciousness, the collective international consciousness, you know, wherever anyone went, they would know who Michael Jackson was. Even if
Absolutely.
they didn't like the guy
No,
or his music.
He was probably the most famous person in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, more easily recognized than any world leader or
Yeah.
Hollywood star.
It was
he's
kind of
Michael
like
Jackson.
a Beatlemania ramped up even more. Because remember, there was all that crazy stuff with Michael Jackson, like he'd be holding the baby out.
Oh, that was
over
later,
the
yeah.
balcony
yeah.
and, you know,
yeah,
all
that
that
came about
really-
later, but we still cared. That's the
Even-
remarkable
yeah,
thing.
maybe.
At that time, it was like Bubbles the chimp, and he had a couple llamas and a roller coaster and cotton candy machine, and we knew that. We knew the name of Michael Jackson's chimpanzee, and we cared.
Yeah, I mean, put it this way: no one ever knew the name of Mike Tyson's white tiger.
That's right. We knew he had one.
He knew he had one, but didn't care.
Yeah, we didn't.
Whereas
He
Michael
might
Jackson-
not have even known what the name of his white tiger was. But Michael was just another story. We know the name of his ranch,
Neverland.
Neverland Ranch, and we
Chimp.
just know all sorts of things about Michael. And you know, he bought the bones of the Elephant Man, which wasn't true, but we still know it.
What?
He was just
There was a rumor that he bought.
Oh, you don't know about this?
No, tell.
I mean, what's
We
to
got
tell?
time. We're filling in tonight. We can.
That's true. We
Let
can,
it
we
rip.
can do whatever we want. Right?
All bets
They're
are off.
all exactly. All the rules just went out the window. We're filling
So
in.
Michael Jackson bought, or was alleged to have bought,
He
the
was alleged to
bones
have
of
bought
the Elephant
the
Man.
bones of the Elephant Man. For those of you who don't know
Yeah.
who the Elephant Man was,
He was a really
he
tragic
suffered
figure,
from a
right?
severe skeletal deformity
Yeah,
that
like a facial disfiguration, like really.
a whole full body disfiguration.
really?
All his spine
Oh,
was
right.
practically
And his
tied to the
famous quote in the film, or when they he'd go, "I am not an animal," right? That
Right,
was
I am.
his
Yeah, that was
famous,
the
thing.
Yeah, like the fly had "help me" and and the Elephant Man had
And Predator had. Remember at the end of when Predator was dying?
I'm
and
always
he-
quoting him there.
after Arnie had been like, "Back to the chopper, get back to the chopper, go."
Right. Very popular question on
The internet.
the internet: did Michael Jackson
Okay.
buy the Elephant Man's bones?
And did he?
He submitted an official bid for an undisclosed sum for the remains of the late John Merrick, known also as the Elephant Man, from the London Hospital Medical College, which has kept them since Merrick's death in 1890.
Wow, that is so weird.
Yeah, so he wanted to purchase them. And
That's
according pre-internet, according to
Yeah.
to
he was into it. like,
urban
somehow
legend,
it-
he owned them. Like
Right.
they were on
just
display
The
at
fact that he showed
Neverland.
some interest in it, it was enough to say, "Oh, he bought them." You know, like. But
Well,
I'm not
not
surprised.
just interest. He put forth a bid.
I mean, but I'd watched some documentaries on MJ, and he was, he dropped $500,000 on some sort of 4-foot-high vase. He'd be on some sort of crazy shopping spree in Las Vegas, and he'd just be dropping $500,000 there, and 250,000 there. And I'm surprised he didn't just buy the Elephant Man's bones.
Well,
it would have been pocket change for him,
His
right?
manager remarked on the matter, saying,
Quote unquote. This
Quote.
is weird.
Jackson has a high degree of respect for the memory of Merrick. Jackson has no exploitative intentions whatsoever and cares about and is concerned with the Elephant Man as a dedicated and devoted collector of art and antiques.
That was a very strange.
That's a
Imagine
really bizarre
referring to
statement,
your talent, like you're a manager,
Yeah.
as Jackson. Jackson does this. Jackson does that.
Well, I
it's
guess
really
just
strange.
to be clear, I just find it strange that when talking about someone's mortal remains, you would discuss
Art
he's a
and
collector of art and antiques,
That's
like
kind of weird.
and cross stitch.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of art and antiques, we've got Def Leppard in the mix.
We do have.
Rock of Ages.
Yeah, I like
off,
that.
Off Pyromania, their really breakthrough big album of, what, 82, 83, Pyromania?
83.
Oh, yeah, 83.
I remember.
think
I
it's
remember.
83, yeah,
I
you're
remember.
right.
Again, this was the biggest album of the summer.
Yeah.
Which of what must have been 83, I think now, or maybe I just got onto it late. But I remember how big Pyromania was, and that was probably the most sought after T-shirt of the summer.
yeah, exactly. If you don't know who we're even talking about, Def Leppard are a British hard rock band, but they came through with like Van Halen and that real explosion, Bon Jovi kind of stuff. They enjoyed a massive period from say 82 to 85, 86.
Yeah.
Where they were the monsters of rock, as they were called. They were just like hard. You look back on it now, and it was so meek and just like hard rock, really.
At the
But
time, it was just
it
completely revolutionary.
Yeah, they're like, man, these guys have got long hair. They're crazy.
They're
and
rocking hard.
They got a
and-
one-armed drummer.
Yeah, well, they didn't yet, did they? I think.
Yeah, I think it came later.
Yeah, that came later.
The drummer lost his arm tragically.
automobile accident,
Yeah, and
yeah.
continued drumming.
He sure did. It took him a minute, but he did it. You know what? I just before we get
Into the
altogether
yeah.
off of this matter, Michael Jackson did write a song about the Elephant Man, and I think it would only be fair
I reckon we should
to
do
give
it.
that a little airplay,
Let's
and
do
then we'll get on to our Leopard and our NXS.
Sounds like a deal to me.
All right, if you want to call in with your requests, your dedications, your thoughts on Michael Jackson, the Elephant Man, Def Leppard, or anything else,
Give us a call at 053 276 793.
or find us on Facebook, Relax Time Radio. Like the page while you're there. PM us with your requests or what have you. And if you have the chance, go on to youtube.com and check out our live stream there. You can not only hear the show, but watch it as well.
You can see us in all our
Boy, are you gonna
hulking
like
glory.
that.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
So here we go, Michael Jackson, Leave Me Alone. We'll be back.
I don't care what you talking about. And you might know how to play with fire. But did you know of the murder committed in the name of love? Yeah, you thought what a pity. Dream on, white boy, dream on, black girl, and wake up to a brand new day, to find your dreams are washed away. There was a time when I did not care, and there was a time when the facts did stare. There is a dream, and it's held by many. Well, I'm sure you have to see its open arms. Dream on, white boy, dream on, black girl, and wake up to a brand new day. Dream on, black boy, dream on, white girl, and wake up to a brand new day, to find your dreams have washed away. Dream on, black boy, dream on, white girl, and wake up to a brand new day, to find your dreams have washed away. White boy, black girl. Name of love. Black boy, white girl. White boy, black girl. Black boy, white girl. Name of love, yeah. It's not what you painted. The original sin.
You've been listening to Relax Time Radio on Radio Thailand Chiang Mai.
Watch our live stream on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Yeah, welcome back. There was In Excess.
Hey, and kicking it off was that terrible Michael Jackson song.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That was awful.
Leave me alone.
That was and what was bad about it was it's a song like a homage or an empathetic sort of thing to the Elephant Man,
Yeah.
but it's just like upbeat kind of
Well, you know
kind
what?
of pop stuff. It's
you know,
weird.
I'd heard the song before. Of course, you know,
was
way back
Yeah.
when. But what I
During
noticed
your Elephant Man phase.
during my
Yeah.
Elephant Man phase, what I noticed about it this time was that it was clearly, I don't know what to say, influenced heavily by Stevie Wonder's Superstition.
Sure.
It was very much
But just
that,
what
I
has
think-
that got to do with this poor guy suffering, you know, the Elephant Man? It really, I wanted something like Bon Iver mixed
Yeah.
with Smashing Pumpkins.
yeah, something a little more
Sad.
sensitive. But if you watched the video, which I think you didn't,
You didn't show it to me.
No, he played. But you see all these tabloids tabloid cover
About
headlines
himself.
about himself, his plastic surgery, his
I
his
get
relationship with
It was a-
animals, and he's saying, "Leave me alone." And he, in this way, he's relating to the Elephant Man, who also felt like, "Hey, I don't want your
All this
negative
publicity.
publicity." Right?
Man, the
Yeah,
pennies dropped down this side of the glass.
yeah, you had to watch the video to really get what he was getting at. But all said and done, terrible song. In my
it's
opinion,
really bad.
Nothing, I'm sure he had a point, but
But it
I don't
doesn't
want.
matter.
I'm not going to bump that in the Jeep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Especially not in my Jeep.
Hey, but that Rock of Ages,
Oh,
Def Leppard, sounds as sweet today as it did in 1983.
timeless classic. Really.
Did that win a Grammy?
It should have.
Actually, I think they didn't. They weren't
No,
even
there wasn't
nominated
even-
until "Pour Some Sugar on Me."
I didn't even think there was a category, right? They would have been in blues rock or something, because the Grammys were terrible until '88 when they had that Jethro Tull Metallica
Yeah,
thing, and they awarded Best Hard Rock Performance to Jethro Tull.
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, remember that?
And it knocked off And Justice for All, like the biggest prog thrash album. of
These
the-
are these retroactive awards that are given, like, remember Santana?
Yeah, that guy.
got
like,
one for
yeah.
his worst stuff ever, just because they neglected to give him one
20
when he was
years
doing
earlier,
30
yeah.
years earlier when he was actually doing some really great stuff. Similarly, Scratch Perry brought out a terrible album where all he did was sing the alphabet and a happy birthday song through the whole record. He wins a Grammy. It's just a way of saying,
Yeah.
oh, he's in the club now. We overlooked him.
So does this mean Motley Crue might get a Grammy after all? When Vince Neil brings out his kind of cuckoo sort of channeling album?
They're really trying. They're really trying to give those guys
Crew.
recognition. The Crew, with the biopic and the books, one after another.
Well, they were pretty massive for a while. They
They
were pretty
were.
big. I mean, Motley Crue were really very cool in that hard rock world. They were kind of like, they were those glam guys who were actually a bit kind of tough.
Yeah, they
Or at
could
least they
probably
conveyed that.
beat up Poison, or, right?
Definitely take out Warrant.
And Winger.
Yeah, Winger.
But of course, there were only 3 of them.
And Rat.
I just found out Def Leppard
They've
never even nominated for a Grammy Award. However, American Music Awards, they've won 2. And again, it was Hysteria for favorite heavy metal hard rock album. They
nice.
won that, and they were nominated for Pyromania, 1984.
For the AMAs.
Yeah, for the AMAs. Then there was the classic Rock and Roll of Honor Awards, the CMT Music Awards. That's Country Music Television.
Interesting.
For Photograph
I
with
did- I
Taylor Swift. Oh, it was a
I-
crossover thing. But look at this. In 2009, they won the Metal Hammer Golden Gods Award
The award was just the Legends
for the
Award.
Legends Award. Like, again, that's another retroactive kind of.
Yeah, before they die, we better give them something.
Yeah, Metal Hammer Golden Gods Award.
That is a great award.
That takes a special place on the mantle. Let's. We're going to find out a little bit more about these Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards, because
Yeah, well, look,
I don't know anything. I've never even heard of that.
what got me onto programming Def Leppard tonight was I read this week that Biff Byford, the vocalist of fellow English hard rock heavy metal band Saxon,
Yeah, they were great.
they're still touring, and
Are they?
they had to cancel about 6 months of shows because Biff has got a heart thing going on, and he has to get an urgent heart surgery.
Who knew?
And it's gonna take a while for him to recover, because I mean he must be like 65 or
Yeah,
something
right,
by now,
easily.
like really.
Maybe older.
Saxon
They've been
put
around a
out
while.
Denim and Leather, had it celebrating 10 years of Denim and Leather in 1988. So it actually came out in 78.
Right.
And I think they had 2 albums before that, Crusader and Saxon, something like that. They were pretty wild, and then they broke into the American market, and they started having albums like Strong Arm of the Law and something for Innocence. They had a bit of Scorpion style marketing going
that's
on.
what it is. They were riding the coattails of
The Scorps.
of the Scorps. I saw Molly Hatchet for $5 once.
Who's that?
Molly Hatchet?
I don't know.
Oh, they were a band in the vein of.
Like the Scorps and like
Well,
hard rock.
they were kind of more.
Deep Purple.
No, they were a little edgier. You know what I mean?
Thin Lizzy.
More
that
along that
edgy.
lines. Yeah, more
Okay.
along that lines. But
Molly Hatchet.
$5 in a place with Flirting with Disaster. That was their big one.
They were hard rock kind of thing, or
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
You don't know this album cover here? This one?
Oh no! But it's
Really?
Boris Vallejo, the famous. Oh, is it Frank Frazetta or Boris? It's Frazetta.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
it is.
so,
you know this artist.
Yes.
This is a classic.
Frank
This is a classic record.
Frank Frazetta was a fantasy artist who did incredible,
sure was.
like Barbarians, Conan the Barbarian, and Kull the Conqueror,
And right, and these guys,
know,
of course, were courted by all of these
metal bands.
Metal
yeah.
bands. They, before Pusshead.
Yeah, they had
these-
Frazetta.
they were-
I
they
think
were these-
Frazetta actually did 2 Kiss album covers.
Really?
The ones where they're in the makeup and the four of them
Yeah.
are kind of doing the thing with the big
gonna
monster
look
boots
into
and
that,
stuff.
too.
Yeah, Frazetta did 2 of those, I believe. So he was huge. I mean, his art was airbrushed on the side of vans.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
used
yeah,
to call them
definitely.
panel vans in Australia.
Yeah,
And
I
it
know
was
the
kinda
ones.
like surfers and bands. They'd get these amazing, like fantasy barbarian kind of scenes airbrushed on the side panels.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
were
I know that, I know.
amazing.
I think he
So
did all
good.
Molly Hatchet's album covers, actually.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know Molly
Maybe we'll
Hatchet.
get some Hatchet on.
Are they kind of radio suitable?
Oh yeah.
They're good.
Flirting with Disaster was a big hit for them. That charted.
Wow.
That charted.
I don't like how they've presented their banner on the cover compared to...
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it
looks
looks like
pretty.
circus style, and it's kind of...
It does look-
whereas it's Odin leaping out of some sort of monster battle
And
scene.
where they've done this banner for the album title here, this looks like something that Robert Crumb would do. It just looks,
Yeah.
yeah, cartoonish.
Wow, Molly Hatchet. Okay,
Molly
there you
Hatchet.
go.
We'll hear some Hatchet, but first we've got some Run DMC, some De La Soul,
Oh, yeah.
and then we'll come back with a little Hatchet, some Mike and the Mechanics. You
Oh.
won't want to miss that.
Yeah, stick around.
It's only 8:15, so we've got 45 minutes left in the program. Wicked weather report coming up.
Yeah, you want to
And,
find out what's going on. with
That's
this
right,
weather.
and this is the place to do it. Request, dedications, feedback, all welcome and encouraged. Just give us a call
053-276-793.
or find us on social media. Find us on Facebook, Relax Time Radio, and we'll be back.
We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say whose house, y'all know what time it is. Whose house? Ron's house. I want to again, my friend, not a trend for van. They said rap was crap and never hacked this band till the ruler came with a cooler name. Made you dance and prance and drove the fans insane. Name is Run, my son, #1 for fun. Not a gun that's done and get done by none. The other acting package is whack, I kill. It's fun, my son, and Run heads the bill. Who's house? Run's house. Who's house? Run's house. I'm in the house, and this is how it feels. See, turn it out. song so strong and make them come along. Come in the door, get on the floor. Hard rock, hard hitting, hip hop, hardcore. Causing casualties and catastrophes and tragedies. For the suck MC, using strategies to get the best of me. You dirty rat MCs, whoever you may be. You need to go outside, you need to shut your mouth. It's all about, no doubt, just shout, cause we're turning out. Who's that? Say what? Run time! Say what? Who's that? Say what? Run time! Say what? Say what? Say what?
Yes, this is Miss Renee King out of Philadelphia. I'd like for you to give me a call on area code 215-222-4209, and I'm calling in reference to the music business. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing? Sorry I can't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and I'll get back to you. Hey, how are you doing? Sorry I can't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and I'll get back to you. Once again, it's another rap bandit, feeling an eye and I can't stand it. Wanna be down with the day glow, knocking on my door saying, hey yo yo. Knocking on my door saying, hey yo yo, I got a funky new tune with a fly banjo. I can't understand what the problem is. I find it hard enough dealing with my own biz. How'd they get my name and number? Then I stop and think and wonder about a plan. Yo man, I gotta step out town. You wanna call me up? Take my number down. It's 2222222. I got an answer machine that can talk to you. It goes, hey, how you doing? Sorry I can't get through, but leave your name and your number, and I'll get back to you. Yo, check it, exit the old style, enters the new, but nothing's new by being hawked by a few. Or should I say a flock, cause around every block there's Harry, Dick, and Tom with a demo in his palm. Now I'm with helping those who want to help themselves and flaunt a nut that's doggy as a dog. But it's not the move to hear the tales of limousines and pails of money they'll make like a pro. I be like, yo, black display man a tape. Well, I to show the time to spare, I just make. But the songs created in they shacks be so wick, whack. Situations like this, I now hate to give me smiles, Kool-Aid wide and ass. And with the straightest face, I be like, hell yes. I slip them the digits of Papa Prince Paul, so I don't go AWOL, but yet I know when they call, they get. Hey, how you doing? Sorry you can't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and I'll get back to you. Hey, how are you doing? Sorry you can't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and I'll get back to you. Check it out. Party after dark on Dixon Ave. Haven't been to a jam in quite a while. Figure I'll catch up on the latest styles. Step piles and piles of them takes by the miles. All I wanna do is count on the deck. Crowd blood addition of beer by the mile to the sector. Believer of duty plug one Moses and I be like, yo, G Pasta's all the producer. Now woe is me to the third degree. Mace pulls are funny, so I make like the bunny. Check. But I'm getting used to this demo abuse, getting raped and giving birth to a tape. Cause there's no escape from the clutches of a hawker. Attached to my success, sent like a stalker. Make way to my radius, playing fly guy. Try to get my back, they force like Luke Scott. Me, myself, and I go through this act daily. And rarely do I not. No matter how I dodge, some jackal always nails me. No matter what the plot. When they been out on tour, they be like, yo, I gotta take the player back at the hotel. I be like, oh, swell, unveil the numeric code that dials my room. And tell them to call me at noon. But of course, there's no answering machine in my room. But a pretty young adore who I swung on tour. And if it rings while we're alone, she'll answer the phone. And with the quickness, she recite like a poem. Hey, you done did the right thing, dial up my ring. Now you're waiting on the beat. Say, I would love if you sing a tune the true instead of frontin' on the street. So no problemo, just play your demo. And at the end, it's breakout time. Please, oh please don't press rewind, cause I'll just lay it down the line. Hey, how you doing? Sorry you can't get through. Why don't you leave your name and your number, and we'll get back to you, please.
Yo, what's up, man? This is Roll Master down from Mystic Posse, man. You know, man. So, you can just hook me up, true. I got this fly new jam called Swimming in the Fish Steam.
You've been listening to Relax Time Radio on Radio Thailand Chiang Mai.
Watch our live stream on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Yeah, welcome back.
I love that De La Soul. What
Yeah, me
happened? You
too.
just wanted to do a little back-to-back hip-hop thing.
Yeah.
Not in the mood for a triple play, huh?
Well, it was just either Molly Hatchet or Mike and the Mechanics, and I just thought that wasn't.
Thematically,
Yeah, I'm trying to stay thematic.
I'm jiggy with that.
Yeah.
I'm down
Yeah, I
with
thought you would be.
Yeah. I got the feels for that because when we introduced that MJ into the mix, it just totally kookified the triple plays.
Well, they were kind of funny already. We had Def Leppard, In Excess, and then Run DMC. But
and that segues across into the next triple play set, which is the De La Soul, and then anyway, there's a logic to it.
Yeah, I you know what? I'm bringing it back because now we're gonna have not only this Molly Hatchet.
Oh.
With the Mike and the Mechanics to follow, and then Pat Benatar.
Well, that kind of works.
I think that's a solid 3-play.
I'll let you off the hook now.
Yeah, it's 26 minutes past the top of the hour, and you know what that means, Paul.
Pat Benatar time.
Yeah, just about Pat time.
Yeah, exactly. It means we're about 40 minutes away, if less than
that.
for that weather report that you've been really
we're
gagging
probably going to
for.
be hearing that in about 20 minutes from now. Whew. And
Can't keep the lid on that much
boy,
longer.
oh boy, plot twist.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe what's going to happen out there in the next 24 hours.
It's going to blow you.
But you are going to find out.
Yeah. You're going to walk away from this show tonight knowing exactly where you're at.
Right. That's right.
Sunday night here. This is me, Paul, and Russell filling in for the Paulie Sugars and the Big W.
And the Big W.
Yeah. They're off having a nice little...
What are they doing? Why are we here?
I think they're going on a little bonding kind of trip.
I
like
hope so.
a bros kind
Like
of
Chiang-Dao or road trip.
Yeah,
nice. Nice. I like the thought of that.
I think they were talking about hiring a convertible and just
Dune buggy.
a couple of surfboards in the back.
I like it.
Just hit the road.
I like it. Well, if that's what they're doing, I'm happy to fill in for them.
Yeah, me too.
I hope wherever you guys are, you're having a great time tonight.
Exactly. Because we sure are.
Because we sure are.
Yeah.
No place I'd rather be.
Exactly.
No, sir. So, without further ado, let's get into this Molly Hatchet. We got some Pat Benatar, Mike and the Mechanics, all coming up next.
I'm going to be paying close attention. This is the first time I've ever heard Molly Hatchet in my entire life.
Pay close attention.
I'm ready.
You've seen the cover. You know it's got to be
rad.
good.
All right, let's check it out.
Here we go. We'll be back.
blames the one before, and all of their frustrations come beating on your door. I know that I'm a prisoner to all my father held so dear. I know that I'm a hostage to all his hopes and fears. I just wish I could have told him in the living years. Oh, crumpled bits of paper filled with imperfect thoughts, still to conversations. I'm afraid that's all we've got. You say you just don't see it. He says it's perfect sense. You just can't get agreement in this present tense. We all talk a different language, talking in defense. Say it loud. Say it loud. Say it clear. Oh, say it clear. You can miss as well as you hear. It's too late. didn't get to tell him all the things I had to say. I think I caught his spirit later that same year. I'm sure I heard his echo in my baby's newborn tears. I just wish I could have told him in the living years. So say it, say it, say it loud. Say it clear. Oh, say it clear. As well as you hear. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late when we die. We don't see eye to eye. Hey, so say it, say it, say it loud. Say it loud. Say it clear. Come on, say it clear.
You've been listening to Relax Time Radio on Radio Thailand Chiang Mai.
Watch our live stream on YouTube and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Yeah, welcome back. There it was, Mike and the Mechanics.
Yeah, with that great track, The Living Years.
Yeah, classic.
Before that, Pat Benatar.
Yeah,
I love that Pat Benatar.
me too.
And it'd be interesting what she's doing these days. Pat.
Oh, do you know?
I don't know, but I'd like to know.
gonna
Unlike
find
Molly
out.
Hatchet, now you're not getting
Okay,
off
let's-
the hook
yeah.
with this, right? Really, that was kind of like a ZZ Top mixed with a kind of a Thin Lizzy kind of
I
thing.
heard a lot of stuff going on there, and
But with a really metal album cover, it was like, come on, guys,
You
you
know,
can't pull
yeah.
that off with that kind of music.
I haven't heard their music for 25 years.
ZZ Top, it's massive.
Well, I
ZZ.
heard some Grateful Dead kind of stuff. in
Yeah,
there. I heard some
yeah.
Kiss.
I was trying not to bring that
I
up on
heard-
radio, the Grateful Dead.
I heard some Steve Miller Band kind of stuff. But you know what it sounded like to me, upon listening to it now, like really listening to
Yeah.
it and not just dismissing it immediately. It.
Like I did.
Well, I mean, that's what I've always done historically, except the time I saw them for $5 in a bar, just because, and I only knew their name because,
Of the cool album covers.
well, I didn't think they were cool at the time. I knew those from T-shirts in like woodshop class. There'd be some Hesher guys wearing these Molly Hatchet shirts, and just judging by the character of the person wearing it, I just assumed this is just terrible music. I'm sure I don't want
But
to hear
now
it.
you realize you're so wrong.
That I was absolutely right, but going to see them was kind of a tongue-in-cheek, like, hey, Molly
Yeah.
Hatchet's playing
Got
in this
it.
bar for $5. Let's go. And
But it changed your life, right?
no, it was just some horrible washed-up band. I mean, they were already
You
well
told me
past their
that
prime.
before they, you got me all pumped up.
Well,
with
I just
that,
wanted to talk about
album
having
cover.
seen Molly Hatchet for $5. Anyway, point is what it sounds like, and even including the album cover into the overall analysis, was just like some guys who liked very different styles of music, just
All
getting
mixed together, yeah.
and trying to make it work.
And one guy was really into D&D or
Right.
Conan.
And he really pushed for the sci-fi fantasy,
art cover.
and they all kind of agreed, like, yeah, that's bad. Like,
Yeah,
that's tough.
That looks really
That looks
good.
tough.
That'll look great on
That
T-shirt.
that look good. I like it. Yeah, that's what I hear now. It's like these guys should have been in different bands.
Yeah, I love. There's so many bands like that.
Right,
That
like
were-
Maroon 5.
Yeah, no, but real bands like where you think,
No, yeah.
what happened? And what happened was exactly what you just described. they tried to do let's bring together disparate musicians, like with this guy's a jazz
Yeah.
aficionado
Yeah.
and this guy's
Just
into
the R&B hip hop guy.
there's
and-
the bongos guy,
Yeah.
like he's the metal guy, and this is terrible. It mixes up, and next thing you know, you got Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, or worse. Yeah, you'd think it would come together and be like Mr. Bungle or something, but it
Yeah.
doesn't work like that. It ends up sounding like Molly Hatchet, and it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Anyway, we played it on radio. It's a first.
Yeah, and the last
So,
probably.
yeah, hopefully. Pat Benatar.
Pat
what's she up
Benatar,
to?
still out there, still kicking. Been through a couple marriages. Currently
Yeah. Wow.
on tour, 40th anniversary tour.
The Scorps have got 20 years on Pat Benatar.
She's got a memoir in print.
Oh, I wonder if it's as good as Kim Gordon's.
Look at these tours. She's been on tour
Yeah.
literally
She's like a workhorse,
almost
man.
every year
Since the 79.
since 1979. Oh, that's why it's the 40th anniversary tour.
Man.
Well, that just makes sense
Yeah.
now, doesn't it?
But I mean, she's barely stopped touring.
No, she loves it, and it's funny that we haven't crossed paths. It's
You might have
40
seen
years.
her for $5.
Yeah, right. Apparently not. She's out there. She's doing her thing.
She must have played every casino and cruise ship from
yeah,
Alaska to
the dates aren't-
Acapulco.
The dates aren't provided here. I really don't know where she's playing.
It's more like where she hasn't.
Yeah.
That's Pat Benatar. So what do you got in the box for us, man?
well,
I see you got some good things queued up on the monitor over
Do I?
there. I saw
No.
what you had.
No, that's.
The Starship track.
Oh yeah. Well, we just played that in the background.
Okay,
here.
but
I mean,
well, you didn't really honor it. You're kind of like talking over it.
that was great. That was from that movie Mannequin. Remember that? Where the guy makes a mannequin, gets fired, and then finds the mannequin in a shop window and falls in love.
People used to do that in the pre-Renaissance times and get executed by the Pope. They used to make They were called warlocks.
I'm for more of that.
Yeah, no, I do remember the film Mannequin, and it
Yeah,
was
that was
hilarious.
That was hilarious. I watched it again last year.
Who was
and,
that leading actor guy? Was it the guy who was later in Friends, who played Chandler or something like that?
Was it, or was it the guy who just looks like James Spader, but he's not?
Yeah, he was like the poor man's James Spader.
Exactly. Sorry, James isn't available. We'll call that other guy.
That guy. And who was the
actress?
The actress.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Because everyone was impressed with the pair.
It was a
smash hit.
It was a
that
smash
film.
hit.
Yeah.
Brought the house down.
If you didn't want to see E.T., you could go and see Mannequin.
Yeah. Or see both. You know,
Yeah.
1987's Mannequin. Jonathan Switcher, played by Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah,
that's
it was
the guy.
McCarthy, yeah.
Andrew McCarthy, who's in some really good movies back in the 80s.
He was in Aliens.
Kim Cattrall.
Oh, Kim Cattrall. She
Yeah.
was she also in Ghostbusters?
Oh, wait a minute. James Spader was in the movie. See, they already had him, so we got to get the other guy who's not James Spader.
But looks close enough that you could conflate the two.
That brought in more than $42 million in revenue
In
in
87.
1987, which is like literally triple
Yeah.
that now. Not easily done. This was a huge hit.
It's bigger than the Scorpion King.
I might watch it again. I might just watch it again.
Yeah,
What do you think?
Yeah. Hopefully not now.
Yeah, not right now. By the way, I looked up this Metal Hammer
Oh, God.
Golden Gods Awards. It says on Wikipedia, this article has multiple issues. Please help improve it or discuss these issues with us.
That's our homework for the
Article
next
needs
week,
to be
you
updated.
and me.
Needs additional citations for verification.
So no one knows whether Def Leppard got the gong or not.
Just nobody cares. Point is, it's funny that they would even put that on
I
a...
can't believe you said that, bro.
Well, no, it was... we were referred to this award through Wikipedia, so
I know,
someone's
but
added
it
it.
ends
but
up there, but I think someone deeply cares about the status of that page. Someone.
Yeah, and it wouldn't
Some
surprise
guy.
me if they were listening to this show.
And wearing a Molly Hatchet shirt.
Wearing a Molly Hatchet shirt. I wonder if Molly Hatchet ever won a Metal Hammer Golden Gods Award.
Some of the dudes from Molly Hatchet might have retired to Thailand, you
Well,
know, and be living the good life.
You gotta wonder what happened to Molly Hatchet, because last time I saw them was 25 years ago, and that was for $5.
They could be
in a
opening-
windowless pub.
Opening for Pat Benatar. A windowless pub, is that a jail?
It might as well have been jail with drinks. Molly Hatchet, they're touring with Pat Benatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, hey, but they 2012
Yeah.
Regrinding the Axes was dropped.
man.
It didn't place on
Any
on
charts
any
at
charts
all.
anywhere.
Was it even released?
It was released.
I love these guys. They're still doing it.
Name and iconic cover art here mentioned. Molly Hatchet took its name from a person working the oldest profession
Yeah,
who allegedly mutilated and
Oh,
decapitated her
nice.
clients.
Awesome, man.
One iconic aspect of Molly Hatchet's image
Was the
is
heroic fantasy-inspired artwork.
That's the one. Oh, look, by all your faves.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only Frank Frazetta, but Boris Vallejo
Yeah,
and
love that
Paul
guy.
R. Gregory.
Yeah, Frazetta's the master, though, definitely.
I guess it
Oh,
will.
look at him. It's like
That's
it's like a
enough.
Leonard Skinner get together.
This is kind of what it looked like when, this is what you got for
Oh,
$5.
goodness.
Would you not go?
They would definitely be playing with like a sort of a Pantera covers band, you know, like, a bunch of good old boys. Like Skinner would definitely be on the turntable.
They're like
Good old boys.
They are to Skinnerd what Andrew McCarthy was to James Spader. You know? If you can't get to one,
One
see
analogy,
what Molly
man,
Hatchet's
that's
doing
wild.
lately.
Oh, look at those guys.
Oh, they got a makeover.
No, but they didn't. It's just the same, but worse. It's like less original.
They got airbrushed.
They all
anyway.
got matching jackets from Target. It's amazing.
Yeah, how
I
about
love
that?
those
There's-
guys. Well, thank you for introducing me and the rest of the listeners to the world of Molly Hatchet.
Yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah, man. I love it. Now, now tell me, what's going on with this weather? Because we're running out of time.
That's a good question.
to
We are
break
running
this
out of time,
news.
and here we go. Partly cloudy out there currently. 26 degrees, feels a bit warmer. We had highs today of 33, felt hotter than that though.
Didn't it?
And a T-storm in the late morning?
I'll take it.
Yeah, I guess so. And tonight, patchy clouds. 22 degrees are going to be the low temperatures, and tomorrow, temperatures soaring at 32. A T-storm around in the AM. So if you're going to be out and about in the AM,
Tomorrow's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Take that umbrella with you. I will be.
Morning thunderstorm.
Count on it. Yeah, morning T-storm.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here
Forest Radio.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, Forest and yes, Forest. It's a Leonard Skinner thing. I think it's got you.
Oh, look, this guy doesn't even have his photo on the page.
He needed.
Oh,
his
because he's brand new. 2019, latest edition.
lead vocals.
Doing lead vocals for
Release.
none other than Molly Hatchet.
Oh wow, he's so new. He's not even there at all.
Yeah, they're out there though.
Wow, look at the timeline and the members. Someone's put a lot of work into tracking that.
Yeah, they should have. This looks like I made it. Wow, that's wild.
That's a full collection of hillbillies right there.
Molly Hatchet is some serious alumni. I mean, you could make a reality show just based on Molly Hatchet. Like, get them all living in one house together, tearing up one house together. Call it The Real World.
Oh my goodness.
You would watch it. Speaking of watching, we got 5 minutes left in the program.
Too funny.
I think that
Yeah, we
got to see things out with The Clash.
Oh, nice.
London Calling.
Yeah. I put this in because I think Paulie Sugars has gone to the UK, right?
I believe he
so I
has.
figured London Calling would be highly appropriate.
Yeah, works for me.
Yeah. Wow, that was a mind blower.
It was a great show tonight, Paul. It's been a pleasure, as always.
Good fun. Good fun to be here on a Sunday night.
Looking forward to seeing you again on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll
and all the listenership.
we'll be here. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll be enjoy your night. Stay safe.
Have a good night. Until
Take
next
care.
time.
London calling to the faraway towns. Now war is declared and battle come down. London calling to the underworld. Come out of the cupboard, you boys and girls. London calling, now don't look to us. Phony Beatlemania has bitten the dust. London calling, see we ain't got no swing except for the rain and the truncheon thing. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in. Meltdown expected, the wheat is going big. Engines stop running, but I have no fear, cause London is drowning. I live by the river, to the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, you can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't want to shout, but while we were talking, I saw you nodding out. London calling, see we ain't got no hide, except for that one with the yellowy eyes. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in. Engines stop running, the wheat is going big. A nuclear error, but I have no fear, cause London is drowning. I live by the river. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in. Engines stop running, the wheat is going big. A nuclear error, but I have no fear, cause London is drowning. I live by the river. Oh, 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 oh. Now get this! London calling, yes, I was there too. And you know what they said? Well, some of it was true. London calling at the top of the dial. And after all this, won't you give me a smile? I never felt so much like.
Trail. Got to cross the Rio Grande and never let me out of that jail. Feel the cool desert air go with me.
สถานีวิทยุกระจายเสียงแห่งประเทศไทยและเครือข่ายทั่วประเทศเสนอข่าวต้นชั่วโมง รู้เร็ว รู้จริง เกาะติดทุกสถานการณ์
จากนี้ไปเชิญรับฟังสรุปเหตุการณ์และความเคลื่อนไหวที่น่าสนใจตลอดทั้งวันที่ผ่านมากับผม